Hey guys, it's Monk Business here, and today I'm gonna try and roleplay as a DreamSloth developer. And I want to preface, I am not on the DreamSloth team whatsoever. I have my own game company where I am a developer and designer and so on, completely unrelated to DreamSloth and Duelyst. But I want to kind of like put my mind inside of the DreamSloth balancing team and try to put out reasoning and a preview patch kind of video for the latest patch 0.2.5 to kind of see whether or not people would be interested in that kind of content from DreamSloth moving forward. I disagree with some of the things, I agree with some of the things, but like it's all just me trying to roleplay. So don't put too much into it. I don't hate DreamSloth whatsoever. There's no malice with this video. I hope that goes through here. I hope you guys will enjoy. Hey guys, this is Monk Business from Not Really DreamSloth, and I'm here to announce for you the sneak peek of the new patch coming here March 1st. And I'm really excited to show you guys this patch because we have been working with the artist who made the third generals of the first batch of generals, and we have tried to like unify the look and get all of the generals to kind of like look in the same spot. So here we are presenting it. We also put up a YouTube teaser on our YouTube channel, so I hope you guys will check it out. I think personally they look great. So I'm gonna skip that a little bit while we go through the patch notes for today. We've been hearing a lot about they want more transparency with the developers, so that's why I'm here doing this today. Okay, so we're introducing all the new patch, the portraits from Nicolas Eorvi, and that's they are both gonna influence like the pictures you see in material and in the game when you're fighting. They come in from the side, and also the portraits will now reflect with these new generals, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna look great, honestly. Okay, so this is probably what the most of you want to see. It's the new card changes. We have 10 new card changes, and it's kind of similar to last time, and that's kind of the philosophy we're going with. Every month, approximately 10, around that number of changes, and see where the meta is going without making sweeping changes. And that's kind of like the balancing mindset that we have. You can also read along on the text. We put in dev notes for everything on the patch notes, so you guys can kind of get the reasoning of why we do certain things, because it can be hard to understand in a vacuum. But yeah, generally our approach is that we don't want any player to feel like, oh, their favorite guard just got nuked out of the sky or their favorite faction just got killed. That's why we are making like incremental changes to cards that are either overperforming or underperforming to kind of get it to where the game becomes more interesting in general. In this example, you can see a lot of magma cards are getting changes, but also there's other cards that are getting buffs, and we'll get into that. So, first off, we have Sunstone Templar. So, Sunstone Templar is getting changed. Before, it was opening Gambit, and for the rest of the turn you have airdrop, but we changed it into having just passively everything you play has airdrop while you have Sunstone Templar on the board. So the reason we did this was because the opening gambit was kind of pointless. Let's say you're playing Dancing Blades, right? If you want to combo that with Sunstone Templar, because Sunstone Templar have airdrop himself, you can put him wherever you want on the board anyways, and then you can play next to that the Dancing Blade. So there's no real reason for you to actually get airdrop on that turn because you're playing Sunstone Templar where you want it to be anyways, right? You could also just play the little one drop that I forgot the name of, Planner Scout, right? So to make the distinction more interesting, we made it have airdrop passively, so it's something you can actually commit early, and as long as you keep it around, you get that constant opportunity for airdrop. And we don't think it's a powerful ability, but at least we hope that it will make Sunstone Templar more worth the consideration and maybe more fun to play around with for stuff like Rook or whatever. We adjusted the stats to also kind of match the new direction. So before it was a 3-2, because it was much more aggressive. You put it in the face of your opponent with airdrop and in order to play your stuff. But now you are incentivized to keep it alive, so it's a 1-3 instead. Okay, so Kaido Assassin, we increased the backstab to 2 from 1. Basically, Kaido Assassin was just underperforming, and it's kind of like it's even better getting replaced by neutral 2-drops in backstab decks. So we're just tuning it a little bit. We cannot really change the stats too much on this before it gets completely overpowered. And we want the focus to be on the backstab, being simple, but you're still getting rewarded for actually trying to make it work. So we're hoping and we're following the development of Kaido Assassin to see where it goes. Jade Monk, another very interesting card. It went from 4 mana to 3 mana, and then we also took 1 health off just to, not make it too crazy. But yeah, Jade Monk, super interesting because normally in Songhai you have like super minion based or super spell based, and I think Jade Monk kind of goes on that middle ground where you can kind of commit it out as a tempo unit together with a few spells, but you still want to focus on the board with Jade Monk, and that's what we're trying to make that middle ground deck more viable with this card. Okay, we have Retruvian with the Entropic Decay, another buff. Basically, you already have artifacts in Retruvian that are strong. You remove whatever is next to you, and it's so high costed for 4 mana. And most of the time when you want to remove something, it's out of range. And we thought it's too easy for your opponent to play around this, right? But by adding that you can destroy anything nearby any ally, it's still not overpowered in any way. But this way you actually kind of synergize with what Retruvian is doing. They're like spawning dervishes that can run out, and then you get that extra range, or you summon a lot of minions to get the range or whatever, right? So I think we really hit a good spot here where we get closer to what is the core of Retruvian while buffing the underused cards as well. Okay, so now we're getting into the nerfs here. Greater Fortitude, just completely overperforming for the mana costs. It doesn't matter if you're spell based or mid-range or whatever, everyone played 3 Greater Fortitude. So we had to tap it down a little bit. It just completely takes over the tempo of the board, right? So we were debating between +1, +2, or +2, +1, but like the +1, +2 is more of a Lionar flavor, and the flavor of Magma is that you have high attack. That's why you have things like Natural Selection and Plasma Storm. It matches that flavor that we don't want weak units, right? So that's why we kept it in a +2, +1, and we hope that this is enough to not make Greater Fortitude such a swingy card at the beginning of the game. Primordial Geyser, it's kind of the same logic actually, and also rematching the flavor here. It's just so many stats. Primordial Geyser, of course, wasn't as strong as Greater Fortitude in our data, but it's still up there, and especially at lower tiers, it's giving players a bad experience. So that's why we touched it up a little bit. Okay. So Vindicator is a highly contested card. It was changed last month also to only work once, and to compensate for that we put it up to 2 attack, which now looking back we know was a big mistake. So we want to put it back to its original stat line, because at 2 attack it's just too close to being just a great strong minion by itself. Without actually even using the other half of the effect, which is super powerful. I mean, we want it to be more focused on using that ability rather than just being, here's another rush minion, here's another rush minion. That's what we want to do with it. So it's back to 1. And especially together with the Greater Fortitude nerf, we hope that this will finally put it in its place where it's like it feels good to play, but it doesn't feel overwhelming for the opponent, you know. Okay, so this is the most weird nerf we have done for Magma. It's kind of like a side grade. We were looking at how can we make Elucidator both hit Elucidator basically was like medium performing before, so like how can we change Elucidator not to lose the play it was having, but we want to hit the combo aspect of Elucidator, you know. It's just the experience for players who get comboed is like a quitting moment, and we want to remove those as much as possible. So by changing it here, the average damage is still going to be 4, but because you trade in, it survives and then it dies on the next hit, right? So it's 2 times 2 damage is 4. But when you're using the combo with Flash and Fractal, because of Flash and 3 guys hitting, that's 8 damage. And when you're playing a combo deck, it's all about staying alive. So we're making that game where you have to get enough health to use it, and when can you commit and stuff like that. We're making that range a little bit higher, and hopefully that's going to be enough to make the experience playing against the combo feel better. So Fire Spitter is a very interesting change because it's one of those cards that are just absolutely useless in your collection. And before it was really, what is the point of Fire Spitter, right? It's a 3 mana 3/2 and it can only hit minions, but it comes down so late that you don't actually get to push any damage, and when you play it, you don't play anything, your opponent plays something, then you cannot even hit that minion next turn. So it was just too slow for what the point of the card was. So now we try to tune it to match more into, okay, what is the point of having a unit that can only attack generals? Okay, it's just to rush the damage. So putting it at 1 mana will be more rushing. But we also know that this kind of super aggressive deck can feel kind of toxic for a lot of players, so we are keeping an eye out of on Fire Spitter. But we hope that this change will make Fire Spitter a card that is worth considering. And then we have Shield Oracle. So Shield Oracle went from 0/5 to 1/5, and that's because we actually kind of like what Shield Oracle is right now when it's working. When you are protecting your general, protecting your artifact in general, or protecting that key minion that you need in order for your win condition to work, you know. In those scenarios, it's working great, but there's so much swapping around Half Sister, Juxtaposition, and Rush minions and whatever, that we want to give a little bit extra. When it's going wrong, at least it can still do some kind of damage, you know, at least do some kind of impact on your opponent. So the ceiling is still the same, but like the lowest outcome where your opponent is punishing, it's still punishing. You're still getting wrecked when they are doing it, but it's not an instant loss moment anymore. That's what we're aiming for with Shield Oracle. Okay, and as always, we also have some more skins, of course. We still have a lot of backers who are not done with their skin designs yet. We're trying to keep it exciting by, our artists need time also to make the skins, but we're also trying to keep a rapid flow of new stuff coming out. So here's a short sneak peek. I love all of them, especially like Healing Mystic with the skin color is very interesting, but also like the Star Wars Sunriser is amazing. They're all amazing, honestly. Like this completely white and blue Warlock. Artist is great. It's amazing, honestly. Always impressed by their work. So, okay. So yeah, that's the patch rundown. I hope you guys can give us some feedback on how this format is working. We can also try and do different things. Maybe do some roadmap planning or whatever. But please let us know what kind of communication you would like to see from us. Also, please comment on whether or not you think this kind of depth notes on the patch itself is makes it more easily to understand our thought process and where we're going with the game. But of course, patch notes in the description and on Steam and etc. So yeah, I'll see you guys at another time.